Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today I am back with another plant video for you guys. But first, are you guys into plants with dark foliage? And because that's what I'm going to share or feature today in this video. So how is your summer going on, guys? Here today is very hot and I feel like melting. Also, I have closed all the windows so I could have a better, a quiet video for you guys. So if you notice that I have some sparse space on my wall or on my shelf, I have taken down some of the plants for this video. So when I first started, guys, I was not into dark foliage at all. I was more like into the variegated leaves, the neon leaves, or just the plain green. And I think that has changed a lot since I got my very first dark foliage plant. And I wanted to start ahead with this first one. So you guys, this is huge. Although I don't have a lot of dark foliage plants, but that could change in the future. So this is my Philodendron Imperial Red. This has been repotted about a month ago. And what's so interesting is that even the roots were a deep red. So down here you can see the old leaves, and they are not as dark. That's how they are, that's how they grow. But when a new leaf comes out, come on, it's heavy. It's, where's my new leaf? My new leaf is this one. It comes out burgundy, and same thing with the petioles. Let me put it back, it's heavy. But as the leaf matures, it turns into this dark green. And this is one of my IKEA purchase. So I don't really know when I started getting into colored plants, but I'm glad I did. So the problem or the mistake that I made with this one, hang on, it's getting into my Hoya. So this plant suffered a lot, guys, because this is one of those old plants in my collection. So when I first got it, I kind of overwater it, and that's the result. It's got that discoloration. So this plant, it's got like a really fine roots, and it's almost like thread-like. I'm glad that I did not repot this. It's been in its old nursery pot, I think, for nearly 3 years, and it wasn't root bound at all. And yeah, so that's my Philodendron Red Imperial. Let's put it down. So this one, guys, is very new to my collection. I only got it like about a few weeks ago. So when this plant exploded like a year or 2 years ago, I was like, too dark. But I got curious. I went to my local garden center. They had it as small as this, but it was so expensive. But when I visited my garden center a few weeks ago, I found one and it was very affordable. So this one lives on my bathroom, and it's got like a small north facing window, but it is thriving. Look at it, guys, it's got a new growth, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with this. I first disliked it so much when it first came out. Yeah, but I'm changing, I think. I'm not sure if it's a good thing, because that means I buying more plants. So that's the ZZ Raven. I know guys, this is like a really it's not expensive, it's not difficult to find, but I would like to think that this is my new favorite. Look how purple that is. So this is my Tradescantia palada, and it used to grow on a windowsill and it was getting like a dappled light, and I thought that light was like high enough for this plant, but for some reason it was laggy and it was more green than purple. And in January this year I was thinking of getting rid of it. It was down to like one stem with a few leaves on it, but I'm like, let's see if I can save this, and if I can grow it better, I can give it like a good condition for this plant to look more beautiful. And I'm glad I did, because within just a few months, that's how bushy it is, and the color has improved a lot, and it's beginning to give me some flower as well. It's actually dying now. So this plant lives on that right under the strip light, if you can see that guys. And at one point I was about a bit worried that it was gonna get some you know, burnt leaves, but so far I'm not seeing it. And it is in this self-watering pot, so I think finally I have found a happy space and a better way of caring for this plant. So that's the roots, and it is in a very well draining soil at the minute, so it's loving it, and with providing it with the highlight, it likes a lot of water as well. So even though it is in this plastic container, I have to refill this cup or this pot with water almost every 3 days. So I think that's how happy this plant is at the moment. And hang on. So when I first transferred it into this self-watering pot, my worry is that it's gonna get waterlogged. But I think I found that mixture that it can have access to water, but it's not gonna get soaked. So that's my secret for this one, Tradescantia palada. And then let's move on to this one, guys. Another Tradescantia in my collection. So I seem to be loving Tradescantia this year. And what I have here is Tradescantia sabrina, which I mixed with Tradescantia, I'm not sure if you can see that, Tradescantia tricolor. So the tricolor, I got it as a huge plant. It was like in a big pot, it was bushy, it was just pretty. I placed it on a windowsill which was north facing, and I thought it's not gonna get burned because the light was not so intense, but it was just getting laggy, and it kept on dropping leaves. The leaves would just crisp up and die. So on top it was bare, it was nothing, and around here I only had like little stems. So same thing, I was thinking of getting rid of it, and I thought let's do last resort for this plant, and I restarted it. So this was trimmed 3 days ago because it was so bushy, and it seems to be the size of the leaves, guys. It seems to be catching up with the size of the leaves of this Tradescantia sabrina, because when I had this in just soil and not on a self-watering pot, the leaves were so small, but it it seems to be happy in a self-watering pot. Now it hasn't got that really showy root system at the minute. So this, I've restarted it in January as well. But yeah, it seems to be loving it. Now it is under a grow light as well, but not as close as the palada. So it's more like a little bit like just medium light, and it is loving water as well, so it's loving this setup. So I would like to say that you have to find that mix, that really well draining mix, and that way it won't get overlogged or soak the root system, but it has access to water all the time. Well, I'll let this dry out a little bit. What I do, let me show you guys. So there is a certain point here that can be filled up with water. So I'm being very careful that this don't sit in the water. So what I do is, once it dries up, see that, I test this rope. So this is the wicking system. The self-watering pot itself is wicking, a wick system, yeah. So I just squeeze it once it's still moist. I leave it for a day or two before I refill the pot with water. But once it's dried up, that's when, like totally dry and you cannot feel any water when you squeeze it, that's when I put some water. So that's my Tradescantia palada, Tradescantia sabrina. The backing of the leaves is so pretty. And actually I wanted to have like a big pot of this, but I am so scared to touch the root system now that it is happy. But I think, hang on, let me grab it for you guys. But I think what I will do is, this is the ones that I trimmed off the other day. So I think I wanted to make another pot of this, but it's mostly the variegated ones. So that's my Tradescantia sabrina mixed with the Tradescantia tricolor. So I would like to think, guys, that this is the most slow growing Stingonium. I got this last year and it was really long. It was okay, and suddenly all of the leaves just dropped and I had like a really long bare stem. So I have decided to restart the whole plant, and this was done in January. So all of these was single node cuttings, and it's not trailing yet. And the back of the leaves, I think, are a lot darker. It's burgundy, but it's almost like purple as well. But the front of the leaves, it's not as dark as the back. And the stems and the petioles are all green. So that's my Stingonium erythrophyllum. And this one, guys, is, some of it died because it's in the terracotta pot, plus well draining soil, plus summer, really hot weather, and I have all the windows open all the time, and that means we have a lot of a really good circulation around the house. And I could not keep up with the watering, so one of these plants here died and I'm down to just one left. And I think the intensity of the color depends on how much light this plant is getting. But that So this is Begonia autumn member, guys, but that dark orange color against the hairy petiole is so pretty. I'm just hoping it would grow bigger and bushy, and perhaps I'm going to propagate some more leaf, because this was propagated from a leaf cutting. Last year I sold the mother plant. I featured this in one of my videos, guys. So look at that. And I'm not sure if it can be seen, but when that first came, that's the new growth, it started like almost like that when it was just forming, almost like a neon color, and then slowly it would turn deep orange, like that intense, I think that's deep burgundy or deep red, and then it would turn into this deep orange color. So pretty. So that's the Begonia autumn member, guys. And this is another begonia. I just watered it, guys. So same thing with this one. It was on a high shelf and with a terracotta pot, well draining soil, same thing. It's drying up so quick, and I think I have to bring this down so I could watch the soil or the watering. I could keep up with the watering all the time. So this is Begonia Cathedral, and the leaves doesn't open up very much. It stays like that, and in the middle you have like almost neon color, and then you have the stripes. It's more visible at the back, and then the edges you have the ruffly burgundy edging. So pretty. Also it is hairy, it's got hairy petioles. So these two, they are rhizomatous kind of begonia, so I'm sure this one won't get really tall. Yeah, so that's, I also featured this in one of my video, guys. I think the title was like funky looking plants. So that's my begonia Begonia Cathedral. So this one, guys, when I first got this last year, for a very like shocking price, and when it came to me, it was not what I expected for the amount of money. It was just one leaf and the variegation was not so much, but when I placed it, so this lives under a grow light as well, and I recently pulled it back, and I can notice that it's only got that sprinkling of pink or splashes of pink, but that's not really visible. But when it was close to the grow light, that's what it gave me, that beautiful pink variegation, which I think is about 30 or 40% variegation there, which I really like. So I think I'm gonna put it back closer to the grow light now. So as you can see, as it matures, it fades out to be a little bit more on the green side, but the new leaf is like so burgundy, and I would like to think that the leaves are not as dark as the petioles, and the stem, they remain really that intense color. So yeah, looking back with just one node, I was like, oh, I'm gonna regret this, but looking at it now, I think it is a pretty plant. So I will end the video here, guys. Like I said, I don't have a lot of the dark foliage plants yet in my collection, but that could change in the future. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.